Hello everyone, my name is Tanveer Ansari and I am from BITCNG. Today I will be teaching you the one of the most important topic of chemistry. So let's start the topic. So our topic name is chemical equilibrium. So it is most important subject of physical chemistry of class 11. So first of all, let us know what is chemical equilibrium. So before understanding chemical equilibrium, we have to understand the term equilibrium. Okay, so first of all, let's understand it. So suppose a beaker filled with water is kept here. Okay, so there is nothing outside external force or anything is happening here. Okay, so what happens? The level of the water in this beaker is remains constant. Okay, it remains constant. Okay, so we can say that it is in equilibrium, but what type of equilibrium it is? It is static equilibrium. This is an example of static equilibrium. Okay, now let's take another example where we start a tap here and keep pouring water drop by drop in this beaker, and also we have made a hole here of same diameter. Okay, and keeps start dropping water from downwards. So what happened? The amount of water entering in this beaker is same as the amount of water going away from this beaker. So the rate of forward is equals to rate of backward. Backward in the sense it tries to decrease the levels of water, but the tap tries to increase the level of water, but both is not happening because it is in dynamic equilibrium. This is the example of dynamic equilibrium. Okay, so these are the terms. Now let's understand how a chemical equilibrium exists. Okay, so let's remove this. Now we will understand in the deep how chemical equilibrium exists. So first of all, there are two types of reaction. One is irreversible reaction. In the irreversible reaction, if suppose a reactant is this and the product made is B, so it is in the irreversible reaction. What happens? The concentration of reactant is keep decreasing. On the other hand, the concentration of product is keep increasing. There is no chance of forming A from B. Okay, so this reaction is known as irreversible reaction. There are few examples such as acid-base reaction. Acid plus base reaction is an example of irreversible reaction in which we can take HCl plus NaOH and it will form NaCl. It is salt plus water. And also example of precipitation reaction. This is also an example of irreversible reaction. Okay, and the third one is, I can say, combustion reaction is also example of combustion reaction. It is also an example of irreversible reaction in which we can take C plus O2 and it will form CO2 plus heat and it will equal to the equivalent. Okay, so now I can say that equilibrium exists when there is a reversible reaction. I will explain it in detail. Okay, so let's remove it, then we will move to our main content of the topic. So Second type of reaction is reversible reaction. In the reversible reaction, what happens? Suppose A plus B is forming C plus D, and C plus D also forms A plus B. In this reaction, suppose this is the initial concentration of A and B. Suppose X is concentration of A and B initially. This is initial condition. Initial condition. At time t equal to 0 plus. At t equal to 0 plus, the reaction will start and start forming some amount of Y and L of D, C and D respectively. So what's happened? Initially the concentration of A and B will decrease and the concentration of C plus D increase. But after some time, after the equilibrium exists, then the rate of forward reaction is equals to rate of backward reaction. So in this case, the A plus B and the C plus D concentration will become constant. The concentration becomes constant at chemical equilibrium. Reaction is happening in the both sides, but it seems like that the reaction is not happening. So this is also a dynamic chemical equilibrium. We can say this is a dynamic. So we can say that here one more point I can write here, that chemical equilibrium is dynamic in nature. Okay, this is not point. So now we will know more about the chemical reaction. So I want to tell you some characteristics of chemical reaction, then we will move further in this topic. So let's write some characteristics of chemical equilibrium. So I can write that first is it is dynamic in nature. Second point I can write the second point as the chemical equilibrium can be achieved from either side of chemical reaction. Okay, so let's understand this example. So suppose A is forming B and B is also forming B. So here chemical equilibrium exists. Okay, chemical equilibrium exists because this is a reversible reaction. So what if we start the reaction with B and forms A? So this is also forming a chemical equilibrium. So this can also forming a chemical equilibrium, and there also exists a chemical equilibrium because we can form A from B. Okay, and we can see that A to B it is chemical equilibrium possible, and from B to A it is also possible to exist chemical equilibrium. So let's move to our third point, and the third point will be closed vessel. Okay, closed vessel. So before understanding this point, let's take an example of a reaction. Suppose A plus B is chemical equilibrium is such that forming C as a solid and D as a gas. Suppose this reaction is carried out in open vessel. Then what happens? The gas will go outside the domain of this chemical reaction, and C does not contain D to form A and B again. So in this case the chemical reaction does not possible, chemical equilibrium does not possible in open vessel. What happens? Chemical equilibrium does not possible. So for conducting the existing chemical equilibrium, we have to maintain a closed vessel system. Okay. So now move to our next point of characteristics of chemical equilibrium. So let's rub it, and our fourth point will be law of mass action. Okay, so now this is most important part of the chemical equilibrium. Okay, so let's take an example of a reaction. Suppose A plus B is forming C plus D. Okay, so we can write here that rate of forward reaction is directly proportional to active mass of A into active mass of B. Here this box denote active mass. Active mass is a mass that actually participate in the chemical reaction. Okay, so and we can also write rate of backward reaction. Rate of backward reaction is directly proportional to active mass of C and active mass of D. So now if we want to remove this proportionality constant, so we have to introduce one constant, and that is known as Kf and Kb. That constant of forward reaction and for backward reaction. So we can write it as rate of forward reaction is equal to Kf, active mass of A and active mass of B. And similarly we can write rate of backward reaction ROB is A of B is active mass of C and active mass of D. And if we divide these both terms, suppose this is equation 1 and this is equation 2, and suppose we divide these both terms, after dividing these two equation 1 and 2, what we get? We get ROF upon ROB equal to Kf upon Kb, and here we can write A and B divided by active mass of C and D. So here this Kf upon Kb is equivalent to K of E, rate constant at equilibrium rate constant. Okay, so now understand more about this term. Okay, so suppose we take another example from where we can understand the mass action, active mass and rate constant also. Suppose this reaction is, suppose this is 3A plus 2B is equilibrium with 2C plus D, and we have to calculate the K, and this is Kf for forward and Kb for backward. So what will the K of E? So for K of E, okay, let's rub it, and we will rate of forward reaction equals to Kf into active mass of A to the power 3 and active mass of B to the power 2, and also rate of backward reaction will be K of B active mass of C to the power 2 and active mass of D. Okay, so for after dividing we can write that ROF upon ROB equal to Kf upon Kb, and this term active mass of A to the power 2 and active mass of B and active mass of C to the power 2 and D active mass of D. So this is the ROF upon ROB for this reaction. Okay. So now let's understand about K of this term, K of F upon K of B, and this is also equated as K of D. Okay, so let's take an example. So here K of ES is taken as K of P and K of C. Okay, so now let's understand this term K of P and K of C. Okay, so here we can note that active mass, okay, active mass, suppose active mass is taken as molality, and it is N upon B. N is number of moles and B is volume. But if we want to take as active mass in terms of pressure, so we can also write it as, we can take two types of active mass. One is molality term and one is partial pressure term. Okay, partial pressure term. So in this case, why we take partial pressure? Because we know that PV is equal to nRT and P is equal to N upon V into RT, and RT is constant because it is carried out in constant temperature. So this equation is equivalent to this molality. So we can take partial pressure of the gas. So the rate constant taken when the molality is considered is known as Kc, and the rate constant taken when we are dealing with the partial pressure term is known as Kp. Okay. So these are Kp and Kc. Hope this will be clear for you. Now we will learn more about it in another time. So thank you from my side.